What is up, everybody? So we are back again. I'm finally making an updated add-on video for you guys. So I'm gonna go through all of my add-ons, break down on my UI as well, because I get so many big questions recently. WeakAuras, all that kind of stuff that I have. So I want to show you guys everything I got. And yeah, if there's anything missed, make sure you guys let me know down below and like, subscribe to the video if you enjoyed it. So I did actually tweak up my UI a little bit to hopefully make it look a little bit cleaner as well on top of that. But yeah, let's go over everything we got. So we're just gonna go down the list on here. So first, auto turn in, kind of self-explanatory. This is just what I just use for questing, for like doing anything like that. Just auto turns in, nothing really a big deal. Battleground enemies. Battleground enemies is the BGE. I think it's that, right? I guess I can't make it show up here. Toggle test mode. Not working. Regardless, Battleground, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with that. It just show on the, I have it on the right here. It just shows all the enemies on the opposing team in a Battleground or an RBG or something like that. Not too applicable to what I normally do. BigDebuffs, very important one. BigDebuffs is why I have more than one buff on my frames. So people always ask, yo, how do you have 5 or 6? How do you have 5 or 6 buffs on? You have to use this add-on called BigDebuffs. It's super important as a Resto Druid because you're always having more than 3 dots. So you want to make sure you have all of the space to do it. The only setting you have to worry about for that is the, I'll show you right here, increase maximum buff size to 6. I would also highly recommend this add-on as well because it is also what is really useful for identifying CC. So I mean, I don't think I can show you right now, but if you'll see in like whenever I'm in an arena or something, if my partner is cloned or my partner is polyed or anything like that, you will see a big poly box on the top on the left corner, and you can actually prioritize different things. So like, I think like something like Mindgames I might have changed a little bit, like priority spells. You can add certain spells onto there. So like when my partner Divine Shields, I can see it there. All that kind of stuff as well. So any like big cooldown that you'll see will pop up on there as well, and you can choose whether you want it as like a small buff on the right side or a big buff on the left side. But it's really useful for me to be able to tell when my partners are like kidney shotted or polymorphed or feared, any sort of crowd control. You'll be able to see in the left corner, and it'll be bottom left corner, and it'll be like huge too. So really highly recommend. And if you are not a healer, regardless, you should still use it because you can use it to identify when your healer is in CC as well, so that if you might need to be popping some sort of defensive or anything like that, right? Next up, we got Bug Grabber and Bug Sack. These are just like some general bug add-ons, especially because I have another add-on called FlyPlateBuffs that might get annoying. But basically, it's just any of the LUA errors that might pop up on your screen. It doesn't pop them up. It just eats them. Not super important add-on. I just use it because the FlyPlateBuffs gets weird sometimes because I have an old version. I'll get to that in a second though. Capping is just shows Battleground timers and, you know, like the start, like when the gates are going to open kind of thing. So it's like little lines and stuff. So if you do want it, it's just kind of like a neato thing. It shows one thing I do actually like this for is it shows the queue timer on it. So like when an arena queue pops, it'll show you how long you have until it's going to fade away. So that's probably the most useful thing for it. But otherwise in Battlegrounds, it could show for like capping times on different like nodes and whatnot. Classic numbers. So classic numbers is what I use for my damage numbers. I know I get that question a little bit. So cool thing about classic numbers, I like that, is you can actually change the colors. So like whatever school of magic it is, or if it's or if it's even physical, it'll turn to different colors. So like physical damage is white, bleeds are yellow, and like any other like spell, like Moonfire is nature or is arcane, so it's purple. Sunfire is nature, so it's gonna be green, and then Wrath goes the same way with that as well. So that's pretty cool add-on to have. The only configuration I added was the commas, and then I made it the color. I set the colors to it as well. Okay, next up we got coordinates, just adding coordinates to map. DejaMicroFader, this one I just added, someone recommended this to me. You can actually hide your bottom right like corner stuff, and then it'll it's still there, but it just hides it for you, so it kind of make it look for like a cleaner UI, especially because the way I laid out my UI now, just kind of makes everything look a little bit cleaner. I'm not typically clicking those things anyway. I usually use like a keybind or something for all that. And next up here, we have DerangementShieldMeters. This is a really good add-on that I would definitely recommend for you guys. It is it shows shields. So I went necro here so you guys can see. But when you use some sort of shield, whether it's Fleshcraft or Death Pact for Warlocks or Raptor Shields if you're a Priest, it's going to show a shield add-on, and you'll show us a shield, and this will slowly like kind of fade this way as the shield gets smaller, and then you'll know, all right, this guy's got Fleshcraft on, like I don't need to heal that much. Or like when I'm bursting Rogue Mage, for example, if I have a big Fleshcraft, I'm not like super concerned about myself. It's just a nice little warning to be able to see how much shields you actually have on you. And Death Pact is really nice, especially for Death Pact too, I would say, for healing Warlocks. You can see how much health they have left, or how much of their shield they have left, and if you need to like kind of pop a big defensive or trinket something. All right, next up we got details. So details, self-explanatory. I'm sure everyone is familiar with details at this point, but yep, just showing you, damage breakdown, healing breakdown. You can show death logs, interrupts, all that kind of stuff on here as well. Damage meters. Okay, next up we have Diminish. So Diminish is a cool add-on. I don't really see many people using it, but for me, especially versing like rogue and like being a druid and like a rogue mage meta, or just rogues always are really annoying. So it's always nice to have, but what it actually does is, I'll pull it up here, Diminish, and I'm gonna toggle test mode here. So basically all it does is it shows your DRs, right? So like if I'm on a stun DR, it'll show us my stun DR here. If I'm on poly DR, fear DR, anything like that. So what makes it really useful for me is tracking kidney shot. So like if I get kidney shot once and or like I'm on cheap shot, because typically kidney shot comes off cooldown before your DR ends, so it's always nice to like not really watch the cooldown of kidney shot, but actually watch their stun DR on you, because if you guys ever played a rogue or any stun class, you're always waiting for the second that the stun DR falls, and bam, you're going again, right? So it's good to be able to see your own DRs. I don't really see many people use that add-on, but I actually really find useful for that. And like sometimes if I'm like quarter DR'd, I'll just let myself get CC'd or something like that, like running into a ring or something like that. All right, next up we got Drustvar. Drustvar is pretty cool add-on. Not crazy useful. It actually just shows people's rating, if they have rating. I think there was a guy over here. Hopefully he's still here. Oh, yes, he is. So if you see on the bottom right here, oh, I can just do it on myself. I forgot. So if you see on the bottom right, when you hover over somebody, it doesn't work for everybody. I feel like they have to be like a certain rating or something like that, and they have to be max level. But it'll show like their current CR, their current record, as well as the record. This might not always be correct, by the way, the record and stuff. But usually the thing that's useful for it. Sorry, this music got really loud. What is actually useful for it is experience. I like to use it for, because this is kind of cheesy, but you can kind of tell when people are doing carries in arena, and like you're versing a carry in arena. Like some guys like 3K and the other guy is like 1200. And you're like, all right, well, let's just kill the 1200 guy. I don't know, it's the cool little neat add-on to see. You can kind of see your own record and whatnot. I played a lot of games last season. Yeah, see your experience on that. It's linked to the Drustvar website. Next one, we got FlyPlateBuffs. So FlyPlateBuffs, super important for me. It is what shows all of my buffs on the targets. And it also is responsible for any CCs. So like Bash right there, you can show, I don't know if you can Cyclone or Dummy. You can, but it would show like a big Cyclone add-on. And this is really important for me because you can use this for everything, right? You can put anything on FlyPlateBuffs. Open up the settings here so you can see. So you can add offensives, defensives, CC, everything on there. So like, for example, you got a BM Hunter, right? I just saw that, Beast of Wrath. So like if he pops Beast of Wrath, you'll see the Beast of Wrath icon above his nameplate, so he popped it. Or like a warrior with Recklessness or Avatar or whatever, Bladestorm, you can see the timing on it too. Because that's also another important thing, is if you're trying to get CC, you want to see how much longer is left on the cooldown. Like if guy, warrior pops Bladestorm or Reflect, and you're trying to wait it out, you can see the timer on it and time a Cyclone right out of it, or time a stun right out of it, or something like that. Time a stun right out of a turtle. Anything like that. So you can put offensive on there, defensive on there, as well as buffs. So like Thorns is another thing you can even put on that I've added on. Unfortunately, I can't, I know people always ask for my profile on it. I can't send a profile for some reason. It's just like, I have my own profile on it, but that's about it. I can't I couldn't find a way to link it. Maybe if anyone knows, let me know. But if you don't know how to add a spell to this, you can add literally anything you want. You just go to Wowhead and you type in like Thorns, for example. So you go to this, make sure it's the spell. You, is that the right spell add-on? No, it's the buff. I apologize. It's the buff. I think it's a buff, right? Oh, I'm blowing this. All right, hold on. Wowhead, Thorns. It's got to be that, yeah. So you take the spell ID, which right for this case it'd be 467. Copy it here, 467. Hit OK. It should say Thorns, and then you can change the size, the font size, the scaling, and all that kind of stuff. So like some things I know I've added on here is Thorns. I've added, I remember, oh maybe they're on the bottom. I've added like Demo Lock Stun. I know. I've made Spell Reflect bigger, so I can make sure I see that. Thorns is bigger. All of the CCs are bigger, but I think that's natural. I think it automatically does that. But if there's anything you feel like you need like another word I made really big as well. Anything that you think is really important to see, you want to make sure you can make that even a little bit bigger for yourself. Cool. So really, really important add-on. I would highly, highly recommend that. It's really good just to be able to be aware of everything that's going on, and you could be able to respond better and play better off of that. I could not play without it right now. It would take me a while to relearn my awareness of like, oh, he popped this cooldown or he used this buff, and I got to make sure I, play accordingly. All right, so next add-on we got here, Gladius. So, yes, it's like Gladius test, right? Test. Cool. So just the regular add-on. I mean, this add-on's been around for years at this point. Just shows the arena frames. It shows DRs. Shows the racial and then the dispel. Just classic frames. You can go with the like S arena and whatnot. I use Gladius myself. Okay. All right. Next up, we got Handy Notes. Just a real add-on. I don't really use it anymore. It was like I used to use for rares and whatnot. JaxPartyCastBars, super important. I really like this, especially because I'm always playing with casters. What that's gonna do, I can't show you right now because I don't have a partner here, but like let's say this is my mage partner, right? It'll show a cast bar here next to their frame with their casting and when it's gonna land. So I play with like mages a lot, and it's good to see that I can watch if they're casting polymorph, so that I know not to clone into it or something like that, or I know when to stun. It's just, and also chaos bolts, right, for Destro locks. Being able to set them up with stuns and whatnot. It's good to see when like seeing their cast bar and whatnot. So it's really like that add-on as well. Highly recommend. OmniBar. So OmniBar. So OmniBar. These have so many things on here. Holy moly. But this is that shows tracking everything. One thing I should do one day is like separate like kicks from everything else, but you can put anything on here between ice block, bubble, kicks, any defensive, any offensive. You can put literally anything on there. I actually do have the profile for that one, and I will be able to link that one to you guys. And I'll leave that below on there. So let's go to the next one, OmniCD. OmniCD is awesome to have as well. OmniCD shows on the left side here. Why is it not on here? Type it in. Cool. So OmniCD, I go to Arena, and then you can go to spells, and you can literally go through all of these spells, and you can set it to whatever side you would like it on. I put all mine on the left. So this is a DK, for example. So on a Death Knight, you're going to see his pet kick there, his regular kick, his blinding sleet if he's playing Frost. I should probably put a 6 feet on there too, right? You can put anything on here. A-bomb limb, that should definitely be tracked on there. But you can track anything on here. So whatever cooldown you want to know what the cooldown is of your partners, it's really useful, especially if you're playing LFG a lot or no voice a lot. It's good to be able to track their cooldowns without saying, hey, you got ice block, you got ice block. Do you have this cooldown, you have this. It's really nice to see you have it if you have everything. Yep, just another thing to help out with awareness. Plate buffs. This is the same as FlyPlateBuffs. I don't know what that is actually. Quartz is my casting add-on, so it's what my cast bars are. If you are concerned about what I use for the settings on that, let me pull this up really quick. So this is what I have. I have the font Frizz Quadrata TT, and this is like my stuff. If you want to like just pause it, you can pause the video and check out all the where I put it and everything like that if you want to copy it. But yeah, There you go. So that's Quartz. I just made it as a cool add-on. I just thought it looked cooler when you're casting like that. I like having a bigger add-on. All right, Raider IO. Self-explanatory, just for Mythic Plus. Not really useful for me. I don't even know why I have it. Okay, Recount CC. I don't even know if you need this anymore, but it's just it used to be like it would add like the CC stuff. So crowd control done and crowd control received to Recount. Wait, I don't even have Recount. Fuck. All right, well this is yeah, we don't need that. Scrap just auto sells your junk. Quality of life add-on. Silver Dragon shows rares. It pops up, I guess, a Silver Dragon over here when you come into, you're in a certain radius of a rare. It's useful for like, doing like Zereth Mortar zones sometimes and all that kind of stuff, but not necessary for PvP. TellMeWhen is an add-on I do use a lot. /TMW. So for example, I usually use it for tracking buffs. So that's what this is, because people always ask me what this is. This is a TellMeWhen, not a WeakAura. TellMeWhen is like a dumbed down WeakAura. This is what I used to use before I used WeakAuras. But if you are concerned, you are curious how I set this one up, I made it as a reactive ability. I just type in Prowl, you click on Prowl here, boom, hit enter, and then I checked timer text. That's it. So that what this is useful for me, if you guys don't watch the stream, is when I'm in combat, it's not going to be there. I use it to tell me when I'm out of combat. Like right when this pops up, I can go stealth again, right? So I just use it as a combat trigger, so I know when I can stealth, and then also the cooldown to stealth. Also, some other things I use TellMeWhen for, I have at least for Druid, is like Master Shapeshifter. Not useful for Feral, but for balance, it's nice to be able to time that, because there's no point of being in Moon Conform if you don't have Shapeshifter up. And then also Heart of the Wild to track when I have the thing on, right? So like when I get my short Heart of the Wild, if you guys have seen my videos, it's gonna show you the timer, how long you have on it, so I know when I'm gonna need to like Convoke or something like that. And that's that you can add on super versatile. You can add so much things to it. This music's just like, it's so soft and then so loud. I apologize. All right. Tomcat Taurus, another rare add-on, useless. TrufiGCD, that is the add-on that I use to show my spells when I'm casting. Probably don't need that if you're playing by yourself, but if you're ever just streaming, or if you ever want to watch your gameplay back or something like that, I guess that you could have a use for that. But yeah, you can see the buttons that I'm pressing. And not lastly, but we have WeakAuras next. So WeakAuras, I'm going to try to give you guys links to all my stuff down below. But I'll show you the WeakAuras that I do use. This is like if you have Resolve. I've never really used Resolve, so I don't use it. Stats, so this is my stat WeakAura. It just shows my stats in real time. Not super useful for yourself, unless you do want to just like track when you see how high certain stats get. But I like to use it just for the stream, so you guys can see my stats. Current movement speed just shows how fast I'm currently moving. So like, because people always wonder how fast I'm moving. Like you can get this fast. 231 speed. That's faster than a mount speed, if I'm not mistaken. 231. What is mount speed? 220. So you're going 11% faster than a mount. Pretty wild. And that's not even max speed. Okay, WeakAuras. So next details. I don't know what these are. I don't use those. Eclipses. This one's pretty cool. So this is the Eclipse WeakAura that I have when I'm playing Boomy. So it shows like how many wraths you need to get a solar eclipse, and then vice versa for lunar eclipse. And it just looks cool, man. So that's it. If you do play Boomy or Boomy Affinity, you can use that. Don't know. I don't think this is for anything. Yeah, nothing. Soulbind. All right, this is the one, dude. It's the one everyone wants, man. So this is the WeakAura that shows your Soulbind as well as your conduit tree on your talents, so you don't forget to change them, like I always do. I'm always changing my stuff constantly, and you can change it from here. You can click on the rusted area. You can change like the path and everything like that as well. You can do everything from it. Super awesome to have, man. That should be embedded in the game at this point. Kill the pod does like the little whenever someone goes into a pod and it says kill the pod. Mindgames just shows when I have Mindgames on me, just so I remember to dispel. Convoke, so this shows my Convoke. When I press Convoke, it'll show all the spells up top. I'm sure you guys have seen that by now. Priest res, if a priest does have the res Lego, it'll show this pop up so that you you gotta play accordingly, you know, make sure you don't do damage and whatnot. And then Resonator. I mean, you don't really need this one anymore. This is before they added that circle in it, but it's there. So those are all my WeakAuras. I'll give you guys the links to that stuff, and if I forget, make sure you just let me know. Okay. Zereth Mortis, Puzzle Quest Helper, just for quests. World Quest Tracker, just for World Quest. Kind of useless. Reflex is what you can use to track your games. So you can see, you know, your record, you can see what your MMR was, the length of the game, how much damage you did, and you can do cool sorts of stuff with that. Dude, I played with Benricky yesterday. We will have a video coming out with that. But we had some good games, man. And just so you know, if you do /AFK out of a game, it doesn't count. It won't show on here. So if you want like an honest, like that's why my record looks like ridiculous, because I've definitely /AFK'd out of some games. But if you don't /AFK, if you get in the habit of like not /AFKing out, then you'll be able to like, see your true record and everything like that. It's pretty cool. Favorites is an add-on that I use for my friends list, so that's what shows people as Horde or Alliance. You know, we have cross faction coming really soon, so that's going to be, you know, kind of irrelevant at that point. But just so you know, if there's anyone on Horde or Alliance, it kind of just differentiates them, and it also makes like you can like set groups and stuff, like Blizzard favorites. You can like make all these different like groups. You can name them different things. Like some people do, like, you know, all of my Resto Druids are here, all of my Mage players are here, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then we have Narcissus next. Narcissus, this is my AFK add-on. Whenever I go like AFK on my stream or something, I pop this up. But it's like the music get really loud. Weird. Anyway, it's a cool add-on, like for fun. It shows like all of your stats here, you know, everything, your gear, slots, and you can actually also use this add-on. I'm pretty sure that's what people use for like some sort of picture stuff too. Like there's a photo option here. Do emote, you can like make your character do things. You can like, there's a whole like picture setting thing where you can like take interesting photos and screenshots and stuff like that with like green screen backgrounds, and you can use for like videos, I guess. Cool, I don't know. RemoveGryphons, I just added this one today. It just removes the griffins on the side so I can get like a cleaner mog. Deadly boss mods, you know, I say it was what it is. And then last but not least, we got DejaCharacterStats. That's what my stat add-on is. I like this a lot because it shows movement speed and like global cooldown. Because it's kind of like something that is relevant when I'm like trying to min-max theorycraft, like haste gear and whatnot. It's pretty cool to have. So your movement speed on there, it does show like your item level a little differently. It looks pretty neater, and it shows like all the item level on the gear as well. So pretty cool. And yeah, that is all the add-ons we got. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below and let me know. And make sure you like, subscribe. Wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Ciao.